The first duck I remember ever killing was with a .22 rifle. Man, that was a lucky shot. I just shot and he fell over dead. Yeah. Daddy looked at me and I said, "That's the way you do it, Dad."
I just started hunting. I was in the where I could hunt by myself. My dad would put me in a blind, let me sit in there by myself, and it was a blistery northeast wind, shears of ice on the ground. We went to Middle Marsh. My dad took me. We didn't have a box blind, no wood. We had bushes stuck down, and I had an old fish box for a seat, and we sat down on that fish box. Well, my mom was a little bit concerned about me being in there by myself, so I had on my chest waders and my coat. Well, my mom only had a pair of knee boots, so my mom was sitting in that blind on that box with me with a pair of knee boots on and my daddy's coat, and my daddy was sitting in the boat with nothing on. And as it started getting a little windier and a little rougher and the tide started getting a little higher, the box went underwater that we were sitting on. The tide came up on it. And my mom sat there on that box the whole time, wouldn't get back in the boat because she was afraid that I'd get hurt. I often think about that, and sometimes my own kids, I say, well, would I go sit in that blind like that so that they could duck up? Yeah, probably I would.
There was times I didn't have nothing but knee boots or maybe hip boots, and the tide, it would be cold and miserable, and bless his heart, he wanted me to be with him so bad. I can remember times where he would tote a sack of decoys in one hand, and I would have a BB gun in one hand, and he would have his old Mossberg in the other hand, and I would be on his back. And he would trudge through a marsh somewhere just to sit and spend time with me. I wish I could spend another day like that. But I do the same thing with my kids, you know. It's not really about the hunting as much as it is about time with family and friends and people you love.
I've always been an avid hunter. I was in the tobacco business, so after Thanksgiving, I pretty much free. I hunted every day. I love the duck so much. I wanted to reproduce it and have things, you know. And I started whittling a little bit, and some of the stuff was really, really crude. But we started going to some shows, you know, looking at what other people were doing, and I got some ideas and started doing some decorative work.
There was a store in Stacy, Pittman's Garage grocery store, where in the winter at night after dinner, the carvers would go to the store and sit around the potbelly stove and carve heads for their decoys. So that was a big part of my growing up, you know, smelling that juniper wood burning in the fireplace and seeing them carve decoys.
Me and Corey dad David, my best friend, we would always, we would plan a show, maybe 2 months ahead of time. We would say we'd go, and then we would, just like Christmas, waiting for it to come. We would always talk all the way from Chincoteague back home about forming a club, and we would talk it, and we'd done that for years. And after we got home, that would be the end of it. We never do a follow up on it until one time, it was in 1987. We was coming back from a show, and we talked about doing it. And so after we got home, I said, I'm going to see if I can't get the other carvers. I knew there was a lot of carvers all over the county that would be interested in something like this. But rather than try to do all that, we were just going to try the ones on the island, 6 other carvers at the time. And so I had to bribe them a little bit. I told them it was going to be my birthday, 1987. My wife, she fixed some clam chowder, some banana pudding, and told them all to be to my house. And they actually did show up. So that night we formed the Course Island Decoy Carvers Guild. We wanted to get together and share ideas and just talk about what we enjoy doing. To be honest with you, I knew nothing about a show or knew nothing about a guild. I didn't like to get up and talk in front of people. And there I was stuck by having a meeting, and they appointed me the president. And so I was just great.
Those early meetings, even the carvers that were participating also, not only would they bring their stuff, but through those meetings and through just getting together and talking, we found out, you know, decoys are so important to us and mean so much to us that not only am I carving, but look at all the decoys that I have. Look at the ones that are too frail to use anymore, that mean too much to us. You know, I remember being at those early meetings and almost seeing a light bulb go off over everyone's head going, where can we showcase these? How can we protect this heritage that we have? How can we showcase these birds from our past?
This is Core Sound, folks.